What's up? Midjourney Fast Hours Podcast, episode 48. Rory Flynn, Drew Brucker, coming right at you on this Friday. Midjourney update. We got video. We got smaller batch sizes. We got some updates we'll share with you there with office hours notes, all that good stuff. We'll talk a little bit more about kind of the new features that are launched, some of the things that are upcoming. And of course, we'll just kind of talk about how ChatGPT 5 is ruining some people's lives and and their self-respect. So
that's actually going to be the thumbnail. ChatGPT is ruining people's lives and self-respect. So that'll be a good one. You guys can see it. We play the thumbnail game now. We have to, unfortunately, but that's the way things go. But yeah, man, it's been. I'm just fixing my.
I'm loving my caricature.
Yeah, because they're fun. Like it's just big mouth for both of us because all we do is talk on this thing. So,
True.
Hey, it's you ever seen the? I think where I got that idea from. It wasn't in my mind when I started it, but do you remember the movie Bulworth?
No, not only do I not remember it, I don't even know what that is. I've never heard.
So, it's not as much about the movie as it is the song. Do you remember the song "Ghetto Superstar"?
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure it was from that movie. If I can find this here, hold on. Don't ask me how I just pulled up.
I like that. I like that reference right there. And I'll tell you another thing. That reminds me of, Nate Dogg Regulate.
All right.
That was from Above the Rim.
Okay. So this is
okay. So I mean, like those songs made for the movie. I mean, don't sleep on it.
This was the poster. Obviously not the same thing, but I remember just like that big giant mouth.
Never seen this before. This feels like I've never seen this.
I can't confirm. Let's see if just Google without me having to go into was Ghetto Superstar in a movie. Bulworth. All right. There we go. I was
What was this movie about?
I feel like it was a politician movie. Something about politics.
This is a movie
remember.
you've seen? You've seen this?
If I've seen it in full, it was 20 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe. Which is so sad to think that I was a teenager 20 years ago.
That should be a question. What is the best song that's come from a movie?
Ooh. Right? There's some good ones. There's
Regulate Above the Rim has got to be top 5.
Hustle and Flow. Like that was the 3-6 Mafia song. I forget what the name of the actual song was. Is it Hard Out Here for a Pimp? That one? Now, I'm going down the hip hop route, but there's a lot of other ones. Are we going to Disney too with like Elton John? And
I think we are. I think we're going out. Yeah, I think we're. Okay, here we go. I'm ChatGPT 5ing this as we speak here. So my heart will go on. Celine Dion, Titanic.
Okay. All right.
Lose Yourself, Eminem, 8 Mile.
Oh, that was for 8 Mile? I didn't realize that was. I thought that was previous to, but all right. Ranks.
Oh, well, this is saying used in movies.
Okay.
No, wait, hold on. Yeah. They were originally written for them. Yeah. Okay. So they were written. Yeah, this is right.
Team America, World Police.
Oh. I don't.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Eye of the Tiger, Rocky.
Ooh, yeah, all right. That's got to be. How's that not like top 3?
That's a good one. I Will Always Love You, Whitney Houston, Bodyguard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was for a movie?
Yeah, The Bodyguard. Kevin Costner was a bodyguard for Whitney Houston in the movie. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's a new one on me. I didn't know that. I thought that was
Skyfall by Adele and the Double O. That was a pretty good one.
It was a good one. I didn't even know that was Adele. I know the song like by heart, but I did not know that.
I'm not a Sam Smith guy for a lot of reasons, but he did a really good song on one of the 2007 movies. I can't remember which one it was, but it was epic.
Have you happened to come across the Sam Smith Adele conspiracy theory, which is like the funniest thing I've ever come across?
I have not.
The same person that they this guy. It's for entertainment purposes only. Everyone, I know I have to say this stuff. We're on YouTube
right.
here. Yeah,
that's right.
So the guy does like a video breakdown of all these people, and he just pitches their voice up or down, and then like you hear it, and it like matches.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And, it's like,
Yep.
and then he's doing like side by sides, and then sort of like if you were gonna like mash in like blend in Midjourney, it's like
Yeah.
all right.
There was some guy that does an impersonation, and he was doing it with I forget the actor's name, but it's the old guy that was in the Batman movies with Christian Bale, Alfred.
Yeah.
Whatever that actor's name.
Yeah.
He was
Michael Caine.
basically Kane, and then Matthew McConaughey. He was basically saying this is the same voice.
Oh yeah. I've
Just
seen that.
based on
based
on the pitch, which was kind of funny too. But
I get hooked into a little promo for YouTube Shorts. I get hooked into YouTube Shorts, and there's awesome content on YouTube. For whatever reason, my algorithm just dominates.
yeah, you were
me on
saying that
YouTube
the
Shorts.
algorithm's good on there.
I found this one account that all he does is break down samples of within like hip hop music and like and house music and things like that. So he did Shook Ones by Mobb Deep, and it was just like the 3 songs, like the notes or like the chords or like the verses, whatever it was. Then they like break it out, they pitch it down, they trim it, they pinch it, and then like you hear them all like individually, and then they mash it together. And I was like, this is such an awesome idea for a page. I could listen to that. I could watch that stuff all day.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I love about 90s hip hop and the early hip hop was just like all the work that went into making the beats through sort of like this manual, experimental, this is what I have to use kind of thing, and I'm going to come up with something kind of mentality. And the beats were just so much better. I mean, you could come up with something today, and it's just like you just don't appreciate it. It's like that. It's kind of like with AI.
Same process.
The whole effort heuristic, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, this took 2 seconds to create, so it's not as valuable as it would be if it took me 48 hours to create this thing.
It's a very similar process, though, when you look at like, all right, we're taking an image and we're breaking it down, or you're looking at a prompt on Midjourney Explore page and breaking it down, sort of taking the tokens out, like we've done with a few of them, like Dyad last week or whatever that was.
Popped off, yeah.
Taking those ingredients out, flipping them around, remixing them. It's like kind of very similar, in a process standpoint. Not saying that it's exactly the same, but it feels creatively similar in that sense. But it's the one who had, not to go too far down the rabbit hole here, everyone. The one who's like just awesome. I'm not a Kanye fan anymore because he's just at it. Like I don't know what happened, but like those early Kanye albums, the first 2. His production on some of that stuff is so cool. Like like those videos that they're of him breaking down like what he's doing in the songs and what he's like sampling from and how he's mashing them together.
Yeah,
it's like if you're an artist of any like format, you can't like not appreciate it. Like take Kanye's name out of it and just like watch the process. Like it's so cool
for sure. Yeah,
so
dude.
sick.
I mean, College Dropout still got to be one of the best.
Yes. 100%. Late registration, whatever it is. Those are premium quality music. Not anymore. But whatever. We got a lot. I'm sure we can pivot back to AI after that.
Well, let's go into Midjourney. Let's catch people up with what's going on, what's coming. There was a office hours Wednesday. We talked about a few different things that they shared here. Smaller batch size videos implemented. So now you can, you don't have to get 4 videos back. You can choose nice. 1 or 2. And I believe this is, because I haven't done it, but it's batch size 1 or batch size 2, I think, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
So you could throw those in there if you don't want to run all 4, again, just from like a saving fast hours, generations kind of perspective. Maybe that helps. HD video mode's now available to standard subscription tiers. I think if you are on something like a standard plan, I probably wouldn't spend a bunch of time running HD simply for the fact of the cost is just so much higher right now, and I think that cost will go down over time.
Yeah. Well, it was a good move. I mean, like, I could burn through my entire month of credits just working on one video. So it's nice to have it just trimmed down to 1.
Yeah.
HQ at least.
Yeah, agree. Like that's a cool move. And then, Moodboards got their dedicated sidebar placement. So I think the thought here, at least from what I had seen, was that they felt like it was a little hidden, and I think it was. So now they've got this in the tab here. You click into this, and I mean, it looks relatively the same beyond that, right? Like you can just get into all your mood boards are right here.
That
so
was
there's that.
Much needed, as weird as that sounds. Very nice.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain it. It's like, where do I find mood boards? Well, it's in personalized. It's underneath
It's just,
personalized.
it was just so buried, right? I mean, like, I probably will think about it more now that I've got it in the sidebar.
It's definitely going to be, it's still my most used feature, I think, at this point. Beyond SREF and everything, I use it all the time.
Yeah,
for everything.
If you guys aren't using those, I mean, there was a period of time where it was pretty slow with Midjourney, other than mood boards, and I think we did like 3 or 4 episodes just on mood boards.
It's because it's like infinite. You can go in any direction that you want, and you can really I keep finding new uses for it, and I love it. So it really does a great job. I don't know if they updated it recently, but sorry,
Faye said, "What about me?"
He's freaking out right now.
What about me, Dad?
Okay, let's continue.
Keep going, sir. I think the other thing that they said was video thumbnails switching to show end frame instead of the beginning frame. Small thing there. V7.1, better prompt understanding and testing. Improved OREF capabilities are being explored. Not promised, explored. Enhanced draft mode under consideration. Features still in early testing and tracking phase, and some V8 features may be backported to V7.1 or 7.2, which I've never heard of before just now.
David was really going in. Like I tuned in for maybe 20 minutes of office hours, and David was going in on version 8. Like he was like, it seemed like to be like the heaviest focus of the call, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, they've sounded really optimistic about V8. When that comes, I don't know if that's something that's going to come before the end of the year or not, right? I think that's the question, but they're saying, right, that's the top priority. At least that's what I've gathered as well, like from being on some of those calls, is V8 feels like the top priority, which kind of brings us back to that conversation we were having last time, which is, what does that mean, V8? Is it like, are we still talking about the same things in terms of quality and coherence, as being like the poster child for what V8 is going to be better at? Or are we thinking about something that we haven't either been told yet or haven't, sort of fully vetted out? Like, I think that's the thing I'm most curious about. Like OREF, right? Like that being brought back up, still being, it's being explored, but is that like, how big of a focus is that going to be, right? Because I thought the OREF with V7, right, we all thought was going to be completely solved, and then it's not. So like, is that going to be a big priority for V8, right? Like, I don't know. We'll see.
I honestly think OREF has gotten better. Maybe I'm just using it better. I don't know. I feel like it hasn't been, obviously you can't throw a product in there. If you're anyone's listening to this thinking they can do that, it's not going to work. Like anything with text or has a logo or branding, not going to work. If you want to throw a couch in there, yeah, that'll work. Or a car, that'll work. But I went down the rabbit hole of like doing it again. I was building some like updated material for my course on it, and it's like I gotta like test all the different like variations of this. Like I really hadn't done anything since it launched, and I've just been using it in a rudimentary level. But I feel like it worked better. Like I don't know I don't know, because the last time I tried it, it was very like I needed to balance the OREF and the EXP values to like get something that looked like relatively close. This time I didn't really need to balance that much. I didn't really need to use EXP at all. I just used OREF, and a lot of it was sort of like figuring out what the point of anything over OREF 400 or object weight 400 was. Like I was like, is there any real use for this over 400? It doesn't seem to like really work. Beyond that, it just like gets weirder. So
Yeah.
I was even testing with super high stylized values, and I was like, all right, S1000, OREF or O weights. I don't even, what is it? Is it object weight or O weight? I don't even know what the hell to call it. OW, the parameter.
Ow. Ow.
It's ow. ow 750, and like
yeah.
it's interesting because it keeps, the one thing I did find after running like a million tests for anyone who's here and nerding out on OREF, but the lower you go, the less of the input image gets pulled in. The higher you go on ow, like if you go ow 1,000, it pulls in background too. Like I was intentionally doing like a guy on a white background, like using him as the OREF, right? Like stark white background. And then like the test sort of like place him in an environment. I was putting him in a low light, dark alley. So I wanted it all to be dark to see if he would illuminate. And then by like OW 1,000, like he's like basically standing against a white wall, like getting the flash and the camera is super bright. So if anyone's playing around with that side quest we just took on OREF, that was just something that came up when I was testing. Is like
I wonder how many people are using it right now, because like I completely like once I understood what it was kind of doing, I was like, I'm probably not going to touch this for a while.
I think anyone that wants to use a video, right? Like anyone's trying to create like a little bit of a project in Midjourney or build a world or make a story with the video stuff, like you need consistent characters. So like the thing I found is lower O weights for changing clothes seems to work better too. So the lower ow between like 50 and like 150 seems to be pretty good for changing clothes and keeping everything consistent. But there's so many variables to it, which is what makes it hard, right? Like that's what, even when I was
hard,
writing
yeah, it's
this
harder
stuff,
than it needs to be.
yeah, it was like, okay, well, what happens if I want to change his clothes and change the environment and change his pose and change his action? Do I use a style reference? Do I use, image reference? Do I use like, so it was definitely interesting to sort of go down that experimentation path. I hadn't done it in a long time, and it was just like
it can feel like a puzzle.
It
in
is
Midjourney sometimes, right? Because it's like, well, what is the best avenue to do X?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we used to talk about this all the time, but it's like there's probably 4 or 5 ways to do just about anything in Midjourney, and sometimes 4 of the 5 won't work, and it's the one way that does that you kind of need to know, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just like the idea that you kind of know the different paths to potentially get what you're looking for, but still kind of gives you pause. You still got to like pause and think about every single time you do something, especially even haven't done it in a while, right?
Yeah. Because I'm not really I feel like my intention with Midjourney isn't story anymore. My intention with Midjourney is like I want to go and just create stuff and like go and like keep branching into the multiverse of my ADHD versus like telling a story, which you can do. I just haven't like really been attacking it that way as of recent. It's been more of like my creative outlet.
Same.
Right.
That's kind of been my thing as well. Yeah.
Yeah. But the capabilities are there. But I'm the way that they're talking about version 8 is reminding me of how they talked about video when it got close. Where it was like they were like you could tell there was like some good stuff going on.
Yeah. V7 didn't have sort of the fanfare that they're talking about with V8. I mean, V8 sounds like almost like what that V6 kind of feeling when you went from the way they and there was a big jump there, right?
There was.
Yeah, I mean, so for V8 focus, I mean, V2 video model planned after V8 completion. So I mean, we're still talking a while away here. Most long-term projects remain confidential. Secret projects still secret. Style Explorer feature. So this feels like maybe the next thing that's coming. Targeted release by end of the month, but it's possible that goes beyond month end. So we're talking somewhere between 2 to 4 weeks for that. But outside of this note and brief little things I've heard on office hours, I don't know shit about what this means. What are we talking about? What is Style Explorer? I don't know what it is.
So that's where I dropped off. I dropped off the call right as I was getting, like, someone had asked the question. I feel like the question someone asked was like, is this going to put people out of business who are selling style codes? And David's like, I didn't know people were selling style codes. And I was like, well, yes, people are. And they're, it's basically some people's like entire business models, which is just style codes. So I don't know how, I don't even know how I'd want it, to be honest. Like, how would you want, I feel like you use them, like, you like them a lot, and, like, you probably use them way more to their capacity than I do. Like, if you had it, what would you want it from it? Like, if it was up to you.
I don't personally. I don't know that it feels like a need, because I just go in and unlock my own. And I think like I've unlocked enough where it's like I probably don't need to go looking for something. I've probably already got it somewhere.
Well, you are like the 1% of style code generators.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder where I'm at on the list. I'm probably up there. I don't know, man. I just think like the way that I would think about Style Explorer and the way that I would want it to exist almost coincides with a bigger vision for just community leverage, in the sense of like maybe these are the style codes that are trending, and maybe that swaps out each day. Maybe there are quick filters that you can find. Okay, cool. But like, there's not, I don't, there's 4 billion codes.
Yeah.
So Style Explorer, what are you going to type in blue? And then you've got 500 million style codes to go through. Blue illustration. Now I've got 50 million to go through. Like, so what are we, what are we talking about?
I would like some categories, maybe. Like,
so, I mean, like, depending on that, no matter how far down you filter it, you're going to have so many.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if this is like really cataloging all 4 billion. I have no idea, but I'm thinking about it in terms of it would be fun from a community aspect where this kind of rolls into things like tokens. What are some trending tokens right now? What are some trending style, or maybe this is a part of the community where you feature individual people and you say, hey, look, these are Drew's top 5 style codes for the month of blank, right? Like where it feels like a little bit more of a community aspect leverage. Same with the token side, right? Maybe there are things that are shared amongst the group, and it also leverages the community or voices in the community. I think that could be a cool play. That's how I would want to see it kind of take place, and almost kind of be a part of this bigger community social profile, kind of conversation. To me, it's not necessarily about finding the exact style, because it's like, okay, I mean, we could do that. We could find that.
So just like sort of reorganizing the explore page to fit style exploration. Is that sort of the idea? Like where it's trending, hot of the week, hot of the month, hot of the whatever.
Could be. Could be.
It's interesting.
I wasn't thinking of it like that, but I think that would be cool. Yeah.
I mean, the infrastructure's already there for that. I don't know how they pull that data, but I guess that would make sense. I mean, do you think are people really using a lot of other people's styles, or is it more like a personal thing?
I think so. I think so. I'm getting ready to release a style code thing. I'm dropping one that's focused just on the best ones. So I've probably shared, I don't know, 1,000, just across my social profiles over time. And I mean, the reality is like it does take a lot of time to find really good ones.
Yeah.
And so like I've put a bunch of those existing ones, probably like 90% of them in my guide and course. But then I'm thinking, okay, like let's really get to like the good stuff. And I think that's where it's like I do feel like people want that. There's some people that just don't want to spend the hours mining stuff. It does take a lot of time to find them. And then you've got third-party libraries, but like I've seen other style code libraries and like they're okay.
Just listing.
Maybe I'm a little snobby with it, but I'm just like it looks like you just kind of pulled style codes and you posted them, right? Where I'm like going through and I'm like, nah, like 9 out of 10 of these ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
For what I'm gonna actually show, right? And so I think like the curation aspect is maybe the key of that, but
you definitely need to curate them. The only problem is I feel like I've probably passed over like probably 200 good ones because whatever I generated just didn't catch my eye, but it probably works better with something else. You know
Bro,
what I mean?
I found one the other day. I would have to go searching for it, but I thought of you instantly. It was the most gruesome and disturbing style code I've seen. Two of them. So the one had like blood and splatter on just about every image. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
I've not
okay.
seen that before.
They harvested my profile
maybe I'll go
code.
look. Maybe I'll go look for it while we're on this. But
They harvested my P code for that one. They were just like, let's just make this a style.
we took this guy's survey results and we turned it into a style code. That's what we did.
The most unassuming, serial killer of all time, apparently. Like, doesn't even know it himself.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
we know. But we know.
It's like Minority Report. They know what you're gonna be before you're.
Yeah,
doing that.
they're seeing into my future. That's my problem with style codes is I always feel like I get to. They're like my creative spark. So like when I really have nothing going on up top and I'm in there, it's like, all right, I'll just mine style codes. You know what I mean? It's not like it's never like my first thought is like I want to go in there and find some cool stuff. It's always like I'm trying to get something, it's not working. I'm hitting like a creative wall, and then I'm like, all right, style codes. Let's just run those, see if something jumps into my mind. And then I'm like, wait, I have to organize these. I have to save them. And I'm like, all right. That's my only thing. I always like when I do the big runs or I get into it and I dedicate like an hour to it, I always find bangers. But it's like, hey, again, the ADHD just goes so far in the other direction.
Yeah.
Can't stay focused. It's too hard.
It's a tedious process.
I know. But so with that stuff, putting a bow on it feels like I sort of like the idea of this sort of like community approach that you're suggesting. I also want to like search for certain categories. Like I just want to look for photorealistic stuff. Like I want to be able to like do that, cinematic, whatever, face crying in the background just so everyone can, she has to say hi to everyone. But like I would love to just like look at it in that lens every once in a while so I could just filter it and don't have to like test it. Like I don't have to test all these other codes to see if they can do what I want to do. Does that make sense though?
Yes.
Yeah. I want some of my manual work to go down sooner or later.
Yeah.
It's too much. But yeah, I think it'll be cool. Okay, they always do stuff. Midjourney TV. If you told me they were going to release that 2 months ago, I'd be like, "What the hell?"
Midjourney TV, baby. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think like maybe also part of the style code thing is it's kind of cool right now because you don't really see it, generally speaking, everybody using one or two style codes. Mm-hmm. And I think like I like that, right? Because no one owns the style codes, but you also don't want to like everybody using the same thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, it's like, so from that exclusivity standpoint, like if you're going to use you're trying to find a cinematic one, I mean, you probably like to find one that not really many people know about. You know what I mean? Versus one that everybody's using, right? Because then it all starts to kind of look alike.
What's the treasure hunt? Like it's like that. That's like, to me, that's like 90% of it, maybe more. It's just like finding them yourself and being like, that's cool. It's random, like to me, that's like the intriguing part is like, it is like a little like Easter eggs, like hidden throughout Midjourney system.
I really want to go find this gruesome one.
Are we gonna get dinged for inappropriate content on YouTube?
Yeah.
Not like our little that guy that you ran with the face with the holes as the eyes.
Oh my God, that was so creepy.
Why do we end up going down like a gruesome rabbit
That was
hole all the time
wild
on this? Like it's like 0.2% of what we probably both generate, and it somehow ends up on here. Is it because it's scary that Midjourney
that
can
one
trim
that one
out?
was wild. What was that? Homesteader,
yeah. With the then we ran video.
God,
of course, we had to keep pushing the envelope on it.
Jesus, Homesteader.
Yeah, great prompt for anyone. Great token. You should all go try.
Oh,
it out.
found it. All
right. Pull it up.
That didn't
Roll
take
the
me
tape.
long.
Okay. Oh, that's all right. Yes, this looks just like my
I mean,
previous
look
key
at
code.
this. All right.
I mean, it would definitely make some cool video.
I mean,
You got a chainsaw. All right. Okay.
let's run this. give me something, brother.
What do we got here? Let's do
Let's do Homesteader.
Homesteader, 100%. Let's do child in a mask. That should be creepy. Yeah.
Nightmare Fuel.
Nightmare fuel. I wonder if it'll like counteract and like it'll be like happy. Do flower.
Jesus Christ Superstar. Flower.
Do
Rage Against the Machine.
throw a nun in there for old time's sake.
None. So just
None with
like
a gun?
straight up none or none, with a gun.
None with a gun.
None with a gun. What else?
Trying to think of things that are happy. Ice cream.
Yeah, there you go. Sunday Fun Day.
Sunday fun day. Let's see what else. What else can we come up with?
Cover. Movie poster.
Care Bear.
Care Bear. Wow, that's one that I wasn't expecting to ever hear on this show, ever.
What are the happy
Pokemon
creatures? Yeah.
All right, let's run this. I love running like a little EXP too, so let's do that. Ooh, this would be So I mean, like, dude, I was like, this is kind of wild.
So in true fashion to the podcast, we have all the fun stuff.
This was the other one. This one isn't like this one isn't gruesome.
That's cool though.
But it's dark vibes, right?
It's got that hazy vibe aesthetic, like that hazy light.
Yeah.
I like that. Looks like it has deep depth of field also on a lot of these.
This was
Super
a good one. Yeah. Love that one.
Might have to pop me that one in the chat. I want to play with that.
I gotcha.
You know,
I'm
I'm a blender. I like to blend all these things with other shit.
Ooh,
Yeah.
here we go.
Okay. Homesteader, not looking as bad as my P code, but that one's kind of
Wow.
odd. What the? There we go.
Hey.
That's what I'm talking about.
Just throwing a little EXP in there. Child in the Mask.
Not as creepy. Sorry, so we're getting like low angle close up on all these. Okay. What the?
What?
What is that?
That's wild.
That one's kind of
Oh
cool.
my God.
Yes, I've seen that character before. It likes to default to that type of character. It's weird when it goes horror.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's weird.
Wow.
You got some interesting ones here, my friend.
Crazy.
Flowers didn't do anything bad to it. All right, cool. I thought I was gonna make like little demon heads in flowers and stuff
Just
like
a little
that.
blood on there.
A little blood splatter on the flower. Rage Against the Machine's a good token. I might have to.
I love
play
Rage
with
Against
that
the
one.
Machine token. This is like one of the ones I use for style code exploration.
Huh. That is a good one. Very open ended, but also kind of legit.
Yeah.
Oh,
None with the
all
gun.
right. Nice.
So yeah, you get like this white mask face, ice cream with a little blood on it. Yum.
Oh.
Yum. Yum yum.
EXP. That's EXP 10. All right.
Yeah, EXP. I mean, I think since EXP dropped, I'm not sure I've run anything without EXP as a parameter.
Really?
Or
Wow, all
permutation.
right.
Permutation, yeah. I don't think,
been-
like, not even once. I always do 0 and at least 1. Like, at least
Okay.
1 stop. Jeez.
I have not. I've only got like it's only when I'm trying to do like ridiculous things, if that makes sense.
Oh, really? Dude, I'm
Yeah.
using it to, like, it's great.
I got to use it more. Not just say it.
What is this album cover? Yeah, these are wild.
Do you find yourself using Stylize less?
I don't use it at all. I mean, my default is 100. I don't even touch it anymore because I already know what happens when I do.
Blue and pink.
Blue and pink. So I just
Are you
leave
still
it.
ranking on your personalize? Are you still ranking?
Nah,
users?
like I mean, I did after that for a while, but I
Yeah.
haven't in a while. No.
I did the other day just to like see if it would change stuff because it was getting a little bit too one-sided. Yeah, I did probably rank like 200 images.
Yeah.
Change it a little bit more. Yeah, I was.
Oh my God.
What in the Pikachu is that?
That's a Pikachu I want no part of.
That is.
What the?
That's like the upside down.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, but like for SREF code, that's pretty gruesome, bro. I mean, I haven't seen anything like that.
Go to that one with the cross in the middle.
This
I like that.
This one.
You got the black, red, crisp white. That is, dude's eyes got like jaundice as hell. Like that is a really random image, but I like it.
Really is.
Yeah, this is what my survey answers say is that this is what this guy likes.
My God. Yeah, so that one's wild. So if you're into deep dark stuff, say hi to Rory and use that style code.
I think we got to do a micro decisions episode again soon, too, just to like
I like that.
Recreate and have fun on here again with the now that we have like so much more than we did. That was like, what was that, February when we did that, maybe?
Yeah, it was a while ago. That was
a lot more now.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
That was a long time. This is, dude. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Roll back. Keep going. There was one that looks really funky. Yes, that one with the face. The guy right as it gets all colorful. You know I like that stuff. Right about 4 in from the left on the top row of the colorful painting style.
This?
No, 4 in from the right. That one.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like a carpet texture too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that in the whole style code itself?
Yep.
Oh, it's got like an embroidered. It does have like an embroidered texture. That's sick. I like that one.
This is in the pack.
Low key Americana, great token.
Love Americana.
Works very well.
Yep.
That one. What was the other one? What was he ran?
Dribble.com album cover, movie poster, Americana, Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine. I
like to use all is fair in love and war a little bit too. I get some good stuff out of there. Rage Against the Machine. I already said that.
The work is mysterious and important.
yeah. Actually, I haven't used that in a while. The what other ones I got in here? Yeah, there's that. Cosmic Dreams is like another good one.
Okay.
Chromatic Aberration I use.
I like that one. I've used that one a bunch.
I'll usually use like the same 5 or 6, and then I'll come up with like 3 or 4 new ones each time I run a batch, just to kind of see if there's like something else out there.
It looks so neat and organized because it's all style.
Style
codes.
I mean, really.
Yeah, dude. It's I wish I did it more. I just don't.
This one's kind of crazy. I don't even know what you call this. It's like
it's like wireframe.
Yeah, like what do you call that?
Oh, I like that. I like those textures. It's like
yeah,
flat.
It's sick.
Yeah, it's like what's the? Negative?
I don't know what I don't know what the name of it is. I'll have to ask ChatGPT.
Well, speaking of that, how have you been appreciating GPT-5 since the?
Yeah, you were saying that maybe like the personality of it's kind of been sucked dry a little bit. I like in terms of the output, I don't feel like I'm getting anything different than I was before, and I mean that probably in like a good way, I guess. Like I was pretty happy with 4.0. I mean, 4.0 was great, and I feel like just with how much you and I use it, right? It's just like it only gets better because you've compounded all these learnings about you, or it's got all this context, right? And so like the more you use it, the better it gets. You do that, you have some custom instructions, you've got projects, you've got GPTs. Like, so I mean, you can pretty much do most of anything that you want in there. And like, I mean, relatively speaking to where we are with the tech, right? So I don't really feel any differently with 5.
It's kind of like I feel like the way that it was hyped again. ChatGPT's got, or OpenAI's got this whole sort of playbook of like way overhyping and like
you're
under-delivering.
over-promising like shit, right? And pretty soon, like you're gonna be the little boy who cried wolf, and no one's gonna give a fuck.
It's like Sora. Like it was like this thing sucks. Like if I look at the Sora in comparison to the other models right now, Sora has exceptional quality when you can wield it.
When are they dropping the second? They're coming up with the second.
It's coming
version.
soon.
When
I'm pretty sure
coming?
it's coming in. I feel like it's probably coming in October.
It feels soon, yeah.
Yeah, but they're, it'll probably be good. It's just like how can ChatGPT image have such high coherence and Sora have the worst coherence of any AI platform?
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's so random, and it's bad because Sora had Remix. That was Remix was a standalone feature that did not exist until now. And you have Runway LF, and you have the Luma situation. I forget what it's called now, that you can change the stuff, and now everyone can do it. But it was like they had like a year run on that of like no one having a feature like that.
Yep.
And it was like, okay. But you guys did nothing with it because you can't prompt it to just say like guy walking to the left without the camera like spinning up into the universe. And it was
yeah.
It's simple things, guys. We don't need a lot. But
I wonder if Midjourney is gonna go into the sound game soon. I mean, that's come up on office hours a few times. They're like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe not anytime soon, but it's just like, you feel like maybe you kind of have to, given now that this is where you're in the space. And I think that's going to be the next major drop for most of these other ones that don't have it, is going to be sound.
Yeah. I think
it's inevitable, right?
I think it's
inevitable.
Necessary.
So why not?
Because I feel like, VO dropped that. When VO dropped and they had dialogue, that like changed everything. You still
made you stop.
How long ago was that? 2-3 months ago? No one's been able to catch up yet. Right? Like they're already on to 4. 4 is probably just waiting in the wings. They have enough data. They have enough, stuff to train that stuff on to make it better. So, no one's even caught up yet. And I think it's such a I talk about this with some of the companies that I work with. I'm like, they're like, should we just use these other tools because VO3 is kind of expensive? I'm like, well, here's the other process if you don't want to use VO3 for dialogue. You have to, number one, create an image. Then you have to create a video. Then you have to go to 11 Labs and create a voice. Then you have to go lip sync it. Then you have to go sync it all together. Then you have to
too many steps.
Six extra steps to do it, right? Whereas, if you want a consistent voice for a consistent character in VO, you just have to download the audio, extract it, and then change it in 11 Labs and re-sync it back together. That's not crazy. I mean, you can do this now on platforms like Weavy relatively easy, but it's like that's such a game. Like, again, things you didn't know you wanted, like when ChatGPT and Flux came out with models that did text well. It's like, didn't know I wanted it till I have it. Like I didn't know I wanted the dialogue feature in there until we got it. So that's my end of my rant. But I think that being said, that's the only way to go. If you want to build real time world simulators, you need dialogue and you need sound and you need all that stuff to happen because it's too many tools.
Yeah. It's an interesting decision for Midjourney. Not only when you're going to do it, but how you're going to do it. Or because there was the idea too that they were talking about of maybe we just start with sort of non-dialogue and sound effects, right? Like
yes,
wind blowing, feet, stomping, like stuff like that. So, and in some cases, like it really just kind of comes down to what you're creating and ultimately what you're using it for. I don't right now where we're at is the dialogue's great from maybe a storytelling social media standpoint, but like for the most part, you're not using dialogue in finalized products yet, or final assets yet.
It's gotten there. You have to get it into the right place, though. You have to prompt for inflection and tonality, and like you have to like actually control it the same way you would like looking down into the.
Well,
left.
That's what I'm saying. Is like most of the time, like
director.
the voice is too loud.
Yeah.
The decibel level's too loud most of the time.
a lot of the stuff has to be done in post, but like I like how Kling does it. Like if there's, if anyone from Midjourney's listening, I think it's just it generates with the sound effects, but when you download it, you have the option to download raw file or with sound effects, right? So like it's not either or, like I want to add sound on this as like an option. It's just like when you're downloading, it's just the MP4 file or the combined file, which I'm like, that's a smart way to do it, so I don't have to like choose every time I generate do I want sound, do not want sound, so I just add it in there. I mean, Audio is like nothing. Like to run that like effectively for every video. I mean, it's so cheap from a processing standpoint. So, or at least from my understanding and me running it on my own.
What have you have you played around with? Sort of circling back to Midjourney for a second with the HD function now, and let's kind of talk about that for a split second. Like how has that been received from you? Like, are you using it? When are you going to use it? Is it a big difference in your mind? Like, what are your sort of like first reactions to that?
I like it. Am I going to use it all the time? Probably not, because the reason I like having the 480p generations so I can test a bunch and just like play around. Like I'll probably use it as like I don't want to say like an upscaling type option, but I've tested it a bunch of times. I like it. It looks really good. I think it's like right on par again with a lot of the best, a lot of the best tools. Just not. I'm not going to like go to Midjourney first for some specific things, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What about the idea though that you can't? I mean, like, there's not a way to take a standard definition video and turn it to HD on Midjourney though?
No, I was thinking they should do this like how they have in draft mode, where it's like, convert to like full whatever it is. Full model.
There you go, like that. Yeah,
it's an easy way to sort of like,
yeah.
All right,
because it's like then you're just like, oh shit, I generated this in SD. I should have done it in HD, right? So now I'm, kind of fucked from in the platform standpoint of doing it.
It'll be different, but I mean, it's still just like sort of the same. If that, that's how I would go about it too. Like if unless you're just like doing manual prompt or automatic prompting for your videos. Like if you're doing manual prompting, majority of the time, if your prompts are good enough, the video is going to be fairly consistent. They're not going to be too varied in terms of like if you're generating a grid in 480. So sometimes it's just easier to do that, test if it works before you go and spend the credit on the fast hours on doing HD, because you'll burn through.
You burn through it
quickly. I did.
Yeah.
I was like, the day it came out, I was like, oh shit, I gotta stop.
How are you? What's your take on the manual edits with Midjourney in terms of like coherence, maybe even extending videos, right? Maybe this is like an interesting thing to touch on. Is like, what's the strategy for you've generated a video, now you want to extend it, and you want to provide. You choose to do it manually. Do you need to keep the original prompt in? What parts are you leaving in? Or are you just kind of prompting for, like the only thing that is important, assuming it's got all the information it needs previously. Yeah. Right.
I think a lot of that stuff's overblown. I feel like it uses the prompt in the first. If you're just doing, auto prompt, it's just taking your prompt and sort of like probably applying it to its own system prompt and saying like, all right, this is what the output's going to be. But I've been manual prompting a lot more. It's very coherent, honestly, and you don't have to really, unless you want to switch styles and you want to switch conditions, meaning like if I have an illustrated style and I want to make it like, I want to transform it into graffiti or whatever. Like you don't really have to mention that in the prompt. Like Midjourney is already the best at style matching and staying consistent. So it's not like you're telling it anything it doesn't know already. It's already looking at it and saying this is what I can do. So it's really focusing on like the action of whatever is in your video. It's the subject, the camera motion, and sort of like the interaction of the environment. I feel like people forget about that a lot of times. It's subtle things that make a difference you might just want to add. Like think about a car driving on a wet road, right? Like it typically kicks up water off the back of the tires. right? Like when you see a car driving on a wet road, like those are some of the things that might make it a little bit more of a pop and make it look more real.
Yeah,
a lot of times. So or just give it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to look cinematic or real, but just
Let me give you another example though. Like let's just say, and I think that's a good point with the details. I think what I'm getting at too is like this kind of feels like one of those things where we're also talking about this kind of almost like with the same way we did with in painting. It's like, do you leave the whole prompt in there, or are you just sort of like calling the one thing out, right? Mm-hmm. Because like when you're thinking about the prompt, right? It's like, okay, should I leave in eye level shot? Well, I think for something like that, you're thinking about what's the next scene going to be.
What's the next? Yeah.
But like something like street photography, or do I need to reprompt for who my subject is, right? That's what I'm thinking maybe people are wondering. And I think I don't like I guess the way that I'm looking at it is just from like a token standpoint. I'm probably starting with the things that I'm looking at the overall length of the prompt. Like let's just use the example of like we're going to extend this video. I'm looking at how many like tokens I've got in here to begin with. If it's very long, then I definitely want to trim some stuff out, because you still know that there's some sort of drop off after a certain threshold. We don't know what it is, but
yeah.
So obviously the fewer the better from that standpoint. That said, like I'm looking at the things that I may also want to reiterate, right? Like, like young black male with tattoo, like I probably don't need to leave that in there because I've already got the subject in there, right?
Yeah.
But right, the action would be different depending on the scene. Assuming lighting's probably going to be the same unless you're changing,
unless
you're
you want to
transitioning,
change it.
right? So
or
like
if it's going into a different environment, most of the time it's good at picking that up. But like, if you're walking from outside to inside, sometimes you want to direct that, like directly control that, right?
Yeah.
So there's things to take into mind, into note. I was just trying to say something, and like I had like an operationalized moment.
Operationalization.
Operationalization.
Yeah. I think that's fair. Because
how has it been doing with text? I saw you had some text there. I've done some things with text. I haven't done a lot. But
it's done okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to refine it, because like I've run into a couple things. I haven't run a shit. You can tell, like, well, I mean, these are the videos I liked, right? But you can tell I haven't done like a lot. That said, there are situations like this where you could take a look at the prompt. This is based off an image. And then I'm trying to get this thing to just stay still, right? The traffic light itself. And I think that's where maybe I've run into challenges so far that I'm still trying to troubleshoot, is like, how do I keep certain parts static? I've called that out a few different ways, and it'll still move some of these things, right? See a perfectly still traffic light. Well, that's not perfectly still. This is motion high, so you're thinking, oh, maybe try motion low. Same thing though. Like you'll get different. Like these are motion. Let me see. Well, these are ones that I liked. So let me actually get.
Have you tried saying the position that the like the traffic light is locked in? Like the traffic light is locked in the right side of the image during a static shot or something like that. Sometimes that works. Like just keep being like, stay here.
Yeah, like I mean, there's like in this one too, right? Where it's like, I'm trying to call out just this one to blink on and off, right? So
Going to be hard.
Most of them were creating like an additional one here, right? Which was tough. I will tell you this though, to your point of like kind of like categorizing something, this works really well. Like when you're just trying to, like, let's say you got a 4:5 photo.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want this to be 16:9, but I want her on the right. Okay. If you don't specify anything, Midjourney is going to throw some random shit in here.
Yeah.
But what works extremely well for this is just saying left side of the image is empty or right side of the image is empty. Works really, really well. So to your point, right? Like maybe there's a way to apply a similar logic with the video component, where something like that doesn't move. But I would say, like with with text in general, like this, I got some pretty good results with this. Like I was just trying to go for something pretty simple. I got like some pretty wild results too, like this, where it's just like kind of crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But
there you go. Dude,
this was just, flashing or blinking. It wasn't anything crazy. And I got like, different kind of looks out of that. But I think like the text part of it's been fine so far. I did like another one here where, these record buttons are moving, right? And for the most part, keeps those pretty good. Like there's one button in here that kind of like changes a little bit. Like you see this one, and then this one is different. For the most part though, not really morphing too much of the text. That's and on this one it didn't morph any of my text. Even on the ones I didn't like, it didn't mess with any of the words.
Yeah, you weren't asking for too much there. The other one's a little bit tougher with the amount of text depth, sort of like placement in space on the z-axis, if you will.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
It's cool though. I mean, like I want to do more of it on the text side to see what it can do, because I've only done like a little bit. It hasn't been bad. It's just like I haven't really gone that far with it. I'm curious, because that would be another nice little use case for it, is to play with the text, especially if you have trouble generating it here, bringing some other stuff in and just playing with it. But maybe we just need to do like a video troubleshooting.
I think we should go deep into trouble. Yeah, like the troubleshooting, like live experimentation, coherence, camera angle. Like we could do a whole sort of like show and tell live experimentation on that. I think that would be a good one.
It's definitely needed, because I honestly, I think like 70% of AI video is understanding how to troubleshoot it. Like it's like the prompting, like a lot of times the models are good enough to make up for bad prompting on certain things. Like where images, same way Midjourney can take like, it's a street style photo of a bride, and it's like whoosh, and it looks awesome, like takes over and does its thing. Video can do the same thing, but it's also when you can't get something that you want and you find you kind of run into these sort of like roadblocks. So what do you do about that? So there's a lot of little hacks around it. There's a lot of different ways to think about it. I think it'd be a good episode for us to just like fire
I agree because I mean like that's where people are quick to then say, "Oh, this doesn't work great." But like the reality is there's so many of these little things. Like you've talked about it a bunch with just like the car example. We did that example too when Midjourney video dropped with that. Remember the girl walking down the street and then going into a door, right? Like you really have to like mechanically prompt these things. Like I was doing one with a guy running and trying to turn a corner.
So hard.
Kind of hard.
Very hard.
Like at least from like a believable aspect, very hard. Like because you get the running part, and then first you got to make sure they keep running the same way, and then when they turn, they're not going to run into it's got to be a clean turn. They're not going to run into a wall, run through a wall, and so like a lot of that does take a lot of trial and error, and like
it's not easy. This is what
not easy, baby.
It's not a button pushing situation. So.
Well, hey, I know we got to wrap up. We're a little tight on time today, but I think we got a good one in today. And then maybe what we'll do is, to your point, like go deeper into the video stuff, live experimentation, show and tell kind of thing, and go from there. But
if everyone is still here, you know the damn deal. You better like and subscribe.
You know the damn deal. You know the damn deal.
Tell your mom, tell your friends.
I feel like we always forget to just throw that at the beginning.
We should just do it at the beginning. If you're still here though, just take 0.2 seconds, just hit the button.
Just do it.
That's it. It's a little token of appreciation for listening.
It's tradition now though.
Yeah, it is. Wait till the end. See what we say. Same exact thing every time.
Every time. Well, thanks guys. Thanks everybody for joining us. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend.
See ya.